guys, welcome to the first audio production tutorial. I didn't like how the other one turned out, so I'm gonna call this one the first one. And you can watch the other one, but I don't know, probably wouldn't waste your time. Anyway, so today I'm gonna show you how to make a drum beat using just virtual instruments, basically just instruments in the computer. So what I need to do, because I'm using Mixcraft, if you're using something else, you should be able to follow along, at least conceptually, like where the buttons are and what they might be called might be slightly different, but you probably will get the gist of what we're trying to do here. So I'm going to click this purple box, and that's going to give me two virtual instrument tracks. Virtual instrument tracks are basically computerized sounds, so drums, bass, guitar, all done in the computer. Some of them aren't usually as good, but drums are usually pretty good, and usually synths are pretty good. Anyway, so we're creating a drum beat today, so what I need to do, because right now this is just strings, so I need to change that to not be strings, because strings do not make a drum beat. So what I did here was I clicked on this little piano icon, and it gave me a list of options here, and I just scrolled down to drums here, and then on this one I just need to click that to get over to this menu. On this one I'm going to click standard drum kit 2, and then I'm going to close this menu. Well, first actually I'll show you this. If you click musical typing, this is basically you know, if you are in a pinch and you don't have if you're on the go and you don't have your whole studio or at least your MIDI keyboard with you, you can use this, or if you don't have one at all. But I don't really recommend using this too much. I don't like it that much. But anyway, basically what you do is click on the notes, or enter the keys that correspond to the notes up here on your keyboard, and it plays them. Like I said, I don't really like it that much, so I'm not going to use it. And I have a MIDI keyboard as well. If you're going to be doing this for a while, I recommend getting one. I don't really have a particular one in mind, but I do recommend getting one. So what you need to do, the way I'm going to show you how to do it, is I'm going to double click here to create a new region to put notes in, and then you'll notice this window down here, this section of the screen down here has changed. This is what we call automation, and that just basically means it's like a programmed sounds. It's like first play this sound, then play this sound, and so on and so forth. So I am not in the right place on this little keyboard here of sounds, as you can tell. So what I need to do is click and drag to kind of get into the right spot here. That's probably good. And so now we have some cymbals and some other of the standard drum set staples. Anyway, first thing we need to do is we need to create a bass drum beat. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click once on the bass drum, and I'm going to put 4 of these evenly spaced. And so what that will give us is something that sounds like this. Kind of a quick pace. And to change the pace, if you want to change the pace, basically you look for something called tempo. For me, it's this little 120 here, BPM. That's also a good indicator of where you're looking. So I'm going to click that, and you can basically just select what tempo you want it to be at. But I kind of like 120, so I'm going to leave it. Anyway, so the next step in creating this very simple generic drum beat is we need to add a snare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the second beat and put the snare right there, and the 4th beat and put the snare right there. And so that's going to sound okay, but it's not going to sound full quite yet. Sounds kind of bland and boring. So what we can do is we can add some cymbals in, and I'm going to change how long the note is by clicking on this little icon here. and then I'm going to add some cymbals in. And you can kind of move where you want stuff to come in, just as you kind of feel it needs, but we'll kind of look at more complex drum beats later. But I'm just going to keep filling these in. And now let's play it. Yeah, it's alright, but it's, it's a simple drum beat that if you're not a drummer, you can use and just play whatever instrument you actually play over it. So I'm going to stop that, but, and then one more thing. This is way too short. Like if I were to play this right here in the actual timeline of the song, it's already done, and that's too short. We want the, it's a song, not like a second of a song. So what we need to do is find a loop. If you're in GarageBand, it is at the end here. It'll let me do it, but I don't like doing it that way on here because it actually gives me a tool to just loop it out to the next measure. So that's what I'm going to do. And that tool is this little, if I can get to it, it's this little arrow icon. So I'm going to do that out 4 times. So now we'll notice that our sound loops 4 times, which is pretty good. So that's probably all we'll do for this episode, but next time we'll add to this little song, maybe add some more complex drum beats, and I will show you how I like to actually do drums. I don't like doing it in one track like this because if you want to change the volume of, say, the snare, say it's too loud, you don't like it, you really can't, because you can only change the volume of the track as a whole. So you turn everything down and not just the snare. So usually I'll like duplicate this out, duplicate the track out, just going to duplicate, and do each part of it, like the bass drum, the snare, and the hi-hats, on different tracks so that I can turn them down, put effects on them, EQ them all differently. And then I might bounce them back down to one stereo track. Depends on what I'm trying to do. Anyway, have fun with it. Experiment. Have any questions, just leave comments. And I'll catch you guys next time.